Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are now attending the Livingston County Board of Commissioners meeting for July 8, 2024. I'm officially calling the meeting to order. And if I could get a roll call, please.
Commissioner Helserman.
Present.
Commissioner Domas.
Here.
Commissioner Sample.
Here.
Commissioner Nakagiri.
Here.
Chairman Drick.
Here.
Commissioner Deaton.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Commissioner Fiani.
Here.
Commissioner Gross.
Here.
Mr. Chair, a quorum is present.
Thank you kindly. Item number 3 on our agenda appears to be called to the public. This first one is 3 minutes. The one at the end of the meeting is 2 minutes. We'll start with cards that have been submitted.
Mr. Chair, the first call to the public is from Bill Reber of Genoa Township.
Thank you. Sir, if you come up, have a seat, speak in one of the microphones, and when you're comfortable, you can be started.
Test, test, test. Thank you, Board of Commissioners. I just want to make a comment on something that was in the meeting minutes from the last minute. It was Lake County Board of Commissioners. They are looking at a resolution where they are going to oppose a budget cut from our governor to the Michigan Conservation Districts and the elimination of local administration of the Michigan Agricultural Environment Assurance Program. I support what Lake County is doing. And if something like this comes before this board, I would hope that you would also go against the reduction of the budget of these types of projects. I think you guys will. This seems to me that it is, our governor prides herself on saying we're the land of lakes, and it's got all this natural resources, and we got Sleeping Bear Dunes, we got all this forestry, and we got all this water, and yet she's going to turn around and try to defund or reduce the budget of organizations that strive to preserve that and improve that. So, I was glad that it was in the minutes, and I would support the Board of Commissioners here if something like that comes to Livingston County. Take the same stance that Lake County is and just not, support her budget cut to something like that. Thank you.
Very well. Next.
Next is Stephanie Miklos from the City of Howell.
Come on up. When you're seated and comfortable, speak in the microphone. You may begin.
Hi, Stephanie Miklos, City of Howell. Just want to kind of back up what Steve Williams was saying about being transparent about something we taxpayers funded. We'd like to know the level of satisfaction of county employees. I think it's important that you follow the laws, and if there are no laws saying, it's not allowed, then it ought to be followed. So that's one of the points I'd like to make. Really sick of the vitriol directed at our governor too. I read in the Fowlerville News and Views a lot of, people like representatives that really just say negative things. I think she's doing a great job. I voted for her. I'm pro-choice. And we people that disagree with these viewpoints, we shouldn't be demonized. I wouldn't be around today were it not for, I had 3 failed miscarriages. And if I hadn't had the proper care, they were all wanted. It was heartbreaking to go through, but when you're in that situation and you don't have the health care you need, it can be traumatic. My son wouldn't have a mom today had I not had it. I guess, and obviously we don't have a birthing center anymore in this county. And I find that a bit tragic too. What else was I thinking lately? I do believe Williams too, that their signs are being stolen because there's obviously the people that really love you and think you're doing a great job. And there are those of us who think that you're not being as transparent as could possibly be. Even in the past when women were on the commission, they wouldn't even reply to the most basic questions. I applied for the court position, the internship, which I was fully qualified for. And I never heard back even just to say, no, we're not going to hire you. I found that interesting just because, I know you're in need of people. I'm fully qualified. My mom was a probation officer here over 20 years. It's just very sketchy to me that you wouldn't even, all the other positions I've applied for, I've always gotten a response at least saying, we're not going with you or whatever. Maybe they sniffed a Democrat. I really don't know the way politics are these days, but that's generally how I feel about it. That being said, there's some, I think, more balanced Republicans vying for seats on the board. And I just think they deserve a seat at the table and they don't deserve to be vilified for wanting the FOIA, which is legal, to come out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, sorry, Mr. Chair. Our next speaker is Wes Nakagiri of Heartland.
Thank you very much. I wanted to share with the board and everybody else here. Last meeting or so, the former commissioner who comes and speaks often in favor of his wife and his daughter and his friend running for commissioner had spoken about, commissioners should get rid of their healthcare benefits. And I did some research on that. I checked with our HR director and said, how long have those benefits been in place? And it's been in place over 20 years, longer than our HR director has been there. And so I find it very rich that this former commissioner is saying, get rid of your benefits. He benefited from that. He could have wiped them out when he was on the board of commissioners. So I think that's a little bit on the two-faced side to come here and say, get rid of these benefits. And while he enjoyed them during his entire tenure. With regards to the employee survey and people wanting to know the level of satisfaction, they already know the level of satisfaction. In the last 2 years running, Livingston County has been rated as a top workplace in Southeast Michigan. In fact, in terms of local governmental units, we are the top. And so the public knows that we have a great place to work. And with regards to the allegation, the assertion made tonight that we cannot legally withhold the FOIA information, that is incorrect because our county administrator got a legal opinion and I've read it and it says that we can do that. And it is still, I said before, and I'll say it again, it is a crying shame to drag our employees in the middle of a political fight. They want to find some little tidbit of information that says, oh, the commissioners are bad people. Well, you know what? I said last time, I said, they've already made the allegation that there's a brain drain in Livingston County and that people have been talking to these candidates. Well, bring them forward and let's have a debate about that, but let's not suck in the employees and ruin the confidentiality of this employee survey moving forward. It's just ridiculous. Last thing I want to say is that same former commissioner talks about, he's been wrong because he was ousted from his position for supporting DEI. Well, it's right there in the Metro Parks meeting minutes, his solid support for DEI and CRT type stuff. So if the minutes are wrong, he should go and talk to the Metro Parks board. Thank you very much.
Next card.
Mr. Chair, the last card I have is for Larry Parsons of Heartland Township.
When you're seated and comfortable, you have 3 minutes to proceed.
Thank you, commissioners. My name is Larry Parsons. I'm from Heartland, Michigan. I am a Oakland County and Wayne County transplant. I moved to this beautiful county in 2002. I brought my wife and 3 daughters with me. I'm very proud to be a Livingston County resident. Of all the governments that I have lived in, this is by far the kindest, the most constitutional, and by far the best place I've ever lived. I'm a veteran, and I serve this country because I love it. I love our freedoms. I love our Constitution. And as I guarded our freedoms with an M16, you gentlemen are guarding our freedoms with what you do. So I want to thank you for that. I see a lot of misinformation, a lot of crap, a lot of people might call it manure that gets shoveled your direction. And I want you to know that I have little tolerance for it. As I live here longer, I find that you guys are on the up and up. The Freedom of Information Act request doesn't cover everything. There is confidentiality in certain areas, and I don't see you gentlemen violating any of it. Everything can't be made possible. I wish it was that simple that we could, but there are things that just can't go public. I do want to add that I have seen a decline in the state, but not in this county. Our current governor has totally destroyed this state. People are leaving the state in numbers, but we don't see that problem in Livingston County. People like me flock here. We come here because of the freedoms and the liberties that you guys provide for us, you protect for us. You keep Livingston County free. We're a constitutional county. We're a Second Amendment county. The taxes are low. The crime is low. Our property rates are high. So I want to thank each and every one of you for what you do. And I want you to know I got your backs. Each and every one of you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. God bless you all.
Any other cards?
Mr. Chair, I have no more cards.
Thank you. Looking at our Zoom board, it looks like Colleen Quinn has her hand up. Colleen, if you can hear me, you can begin.
Good evening, everybody. I mentioned at the last meeting, and I'm going to reiterate it, that you guys acted appropriately with regard to the employee survey data. I don't know why this trio or quartet is so hung up on bringing this up and making an issue. I don't know what platform they're running on other than trying to sling mud or create dissension, but you did the right thing. I also found it interesting that the press article that was published after this, after the other meeting, never even mentioned my comments. So that was a very biased article, and that's not very surprising. I am so grateful for our Board of Commissioners, and I want to echo Mike Stanton's comments from earlier and some of the other people, Larry Parsons. You guys are doing a great job, and I know you're protecting our freedoms, and Tim and I both appreciate it so much, and I just can't thank you enough. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now's the time, if anybody's on Zoom, to raise your hand electronically so we can call on you before I close the call to the public.
I don't see any, Commissioner.
Thank you. I so confirm, and thus the call to the public, item number 3 on the agenda, is now closed. Item number 4 is approval of agenda. May I get a motion?
So move Deaton. Support Gross.
Moved by Commissioner Deaton, support by Commissioner Gross to approve our agenda. All those in favor, voice vote, kindly say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an 8-0 passage of item 4. Item number 5, accounts payable reports. 5.1 reads claims dated July 8, 2024. 5.2 reads payables dated June 15 through June 28, 2024. Can I get a motion for both 5.1 and 5.2?
A move to approve Helserman. Support Gross.
Motion to approve by Helserman, support by Gross. Any comments, questions, observations? Seeing none, voice of vote. All those in favor of 5.1 and 5.2, kindly say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the vote will be recorded as 8-0, passing both 5.1 and 5.2. We're now at item number 6, call to the public number 2, which lasts or affords 2 minutes to anyone. Any cards?
Mr. Chair, I have no cards.
No cards. We now go to Zoom. It's your chance to raise your hand.
I do not have any, Commissioner.
I so confirm the call to the public number 2 is closed. Any commissioner have any announcements or remarks they want to make before we close, and reminders of what we need to do? Commissioner Nakagiri.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that I am honored to have been selected as a delegate to the Republican National Convention, where I will be one of 2,500 or so people that would be casting a vote for the Republican nominee for president. I'll be leaving on Sunday, getting back on Thursday, and I can't tell you how much of an honor it is for me. We need to get the country back on track. And so but I'll be thinking about you. I'm glad the RNC held their convention on our open week here. You know, so anyway, thank you.
Did that for you, Wes.
Yeah.
Good luck, Wes. Do us proud.
Thank you.
Seeing no other hands raised, I'll close the announcements remarks. We'll move to adjournment. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Helserman. Support Gross.
Moved by Helserman, support by Gross. All those in favor, kindly voice vote, say aye.
Aye.
8-0. The matter and the meeting is now adjourned.
We only had one.